Stop. Nah, wait a minute.
Well, happy Saturday, all of my good people, and welcome to the Faction Reloaded here on about as busy of a wrestling weekend that's not labeled WrestleMania as you can possibly get. It's that kind of weekend, folks, and I hope that whatever you're doing, you've been enjoying some great wrestling in the process. Of course, I'm Gerard Bonner, and I've got two members of the panel. It's an all-guy, masculine episode of the Faction Reloaded, which kind of takes me back for those who've actually followed the trajectory of the faction. Of course, representing Houston, Texas, home of Booker T, is, of course, James White. How are you, brother?
I am more tired than Michel's kendo stick, but I'm here.
I got nervous for a second. I was like, I don't know where you're going, but okay. All right. Okay, cool. We're good. Yes, that could have gone a lot of places. Holy cow. And then, of course, the Nostradamus of the crew. We'll explain that in a little bit. The councilman, Will Farrow.
Oh, man, so glad to be on this sausage jambalaya episode of the Faction, especially when you have a day of just being so right, and so right one more time. If only Lovely was here, right? Boy, I'm telling you, boy, Lovely duck and dodge real quick.
Shout out to Lovely. She's representing with my Ashe Wrestling family, The World Is Yours, which is airing right now in Charlotte on YouTube. So for those of you who might be doing the split screen thing, thank you so much. Shout out to my friends there at Ashe. Of course, Honey is otherwise engaged as well. So shout out to her. They are great members of our team and they are sorely missed. But what a day to miss. What a day to miss. So there's a lot we're going to get into. Of course, lots of wrestling this weekend. And we're going to deal with the 30th anniversary of Austin 316. But there's no way we can start this show without talking about Night of Champions, which kind of kicked off this cavalcade and cornucopia of wrestling this weekend. And we thought we would start talking about King of the Ring or Queen of the Ring. We'll get to that. But let's get to the news that everybody's clearly talking about. And what a day to have a show. Just a couple of hours removed from a brand new WWE champion. In case you haven't heard, Sami Zayn, the Gingerbread Man, is now the WWE champion. He defeats Cody Rhodes and Gunther in a stellar match in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. All right, guys, right off the top, your thoughts on Sami Zayn as the WWE champion. James, I'll start with you.
The great Kevin Garnett said, anything is possible.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and when you think about it, why not Sami? You know, I was shocked because it looked like, you know, when they did the haluva kick and it got kicked out of, because that's his finisher. Normally when people kick out of your finisher, you're not going to win, you know, but everything was set up for him. First of all, he comes out, you know, dressing like the Saudi. Come on. Like they're not going to do this to him. Maybe if he was against Roman Reigns, but
I mean, he came out dressed like that before.
He did.
Show.
I mean,
he did.
Barely 6 months ago.
Yeah.
But again, you know what I mean? Like, you know, and us, the way we know the WWE and how they book things of that nature, they love that heartbreak aspect of it. But I'm like, okay, what would it serve in this moment? And the fact that it is a triple threat. So, you know, there's like a caveat there that could happen. And also think about this. Think about how many people have been WWE or world champion in the WWE. Think about this. Okay. Jack Swagger. Okay.
Wow.
Okay, let's just think about this. Come on, the great Khali.
Wait. Those are world heavyweight champions.
I said WWE or world. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. These are people who had a top belt in the company. Just think about this now. Okay. The great Khali. You know what's my man? Jinder Mahal. You know,
not too much.
We don't want to enter gender, but if gender, whose name is fluid, if gender is going to win, if he could be that, why not Sammy? It seems like Sammy was the last one who hasn't been. You know what I mean? Of people who could be, and you know the caliber of wrestler he's been since the El Generico days, allegedly. Just there's no proof that that's the same person. No proof. We don't have any proof of that. He died in yeah. Okay. But this guy, Sami Zayn, since 2016 has been just a tremendous character, a tremendous wrestler for the WWE. So I'm genuinely happy for him, however long this lasts. I'm genuinely happy that he had this kind of moment. That's a historic moment today.
So, of course, Councilman, you were on the socials earlier today predicting that this would be the right time for Sami Zayn to become WWE champion. So, tell me and tell us why now why was this the right time versus, say, 5 months ago when they were there at the Royal Rumble, or better yet, 2 years ago when Sammy was red hot against Roman Reigns in Montreal at Elimination Chamber? Why was this the right time?
Well, if you go back to Elimination Chamber, he was a little bitch, so being champion didn't make sense at all. Didn't want that happening. What was the other one? Riyadh Royal Rumble wasn't about him. It was about they weren't gonna take that spotlight away from Roman. So there's no way that again, he's the highlight of Night of Champions tonight. We start off talking with him, not going to King of the Ring, anything else. Like, he is the talk of the town right now. So you don't want to share that spotlight with somebody else at a Royal Rumble, especially Roman Reigns winning it and going to WrestleMania. This was the right time because WWE actually got it right when doing these micro storytellings. Like, look at how they were able to flip Sammy in 3 months. 3 months, we go from this underdog to us, like I've always said, like Mick Foley Jr., bro, you are incredible in the ring. Like when Gunther tried to do that power bomb and he switched it to a sunset flip, I'm like, that's the Sammy I've been waiting to see. This dude, this guy who will walk circles around everyone in that ring. That's the aura he walked out with. That's the attitude that he's been presenting. And that's why it made sense for it to happen right now. We could not wait to get to Saudi Arabia at WrestleMania. It was not, because everything would have fell apart by then. Right now, you have escalated this so much further because now we go into a Gunther challenge. But now we start to maybe even get a heel Cody Rhodes when he comes back, because we know they're going to face each other at SummerSlam. This was the right opportune time, and there was no other time to get it in. Just like I said in my clip, I want it to happen. I'm going to keep praising it. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, WrestleMania, Saudi Arabia, main event, where Sammy will be defending his title in front of his home country.
So you think that a Sami Zayn reign is going through WrestleMania?
I think he may lose it once, but I also think he may get it back by the time we get to Mania. If you look at where we're at, we've just reset the timeline. There is no more Super Cody. We're about to get rid of Super Roman Reigns. We've gotten rid of Super CM Punk. We are now at a level where, with Sammy being champ, if a Damian Priest decided he wanted to challenge, it's now not so predictable. It's not where, oh man, there's no way Damian can defeat Cody Rhodes. So we already know how this is going. This is now, hey, I have no idea what's happening when I go into this match, which now allows you to build a division around Sami Zayn and this belt. Finally.
All right, James, let me ask you, do you think now was the right time for Sami, or were any of the other times that we mentioned better, or perhaps even this upcoming WrestleMania, which they started to push during this show?
I think this it's a tough question to say it would have been a better time at any other time. Because like they got a lot of juice out of that bloodline story in 2023 with him. You know, a lot of juice out of that. And yes, he was red hot at the time, but you will still establish a Roman to be that guy at that time. And we're not doing Sami versus Cody in WrestleMania 39 now, are we? You know, that's not gonna happen. You know, you don't get WrestleMania 39, you don't get WrestleMania 40 if Roman isn't escalated and still has that championship during that time. So you have to build him up. That was a historic run that Roman had. But then Sami, you know, he took the course. You know, he took the course. Let's look. Okay, first of all, the dude, he looks musty. Okay, he looks really musty. All right,
Wow.
like he bathes in sauerkraut. And this is not necessarily a person that you want as the face of your company. So we got to do some stuff. All right, this has to work in a storyline. We got to do some long-term endearing. And yes, it has to land in a place where he can call it his native land. That's where you do it. So are you going to do it when Royal Rumble happens and also AJ Styles retirement? No, we're not doing it there. We can't do it in that moment. All right. It dilutes the whole thing. All right. So yeah, let's make it happen now. Now's a great time also because you got two other events that's about to happen. You got Saturday night's main event in Madison Square Garden, which is going to feel like a PLE. Okay. It's literally going to feel like a PLE. All right. It's going to feel as big as this felt today. All right. So it could be a long-term reign. It could be a short-term reign. It could be a setup for something else. This is the perfect time because you're still going to have this historic moment. We're always going to come back to this. There'll always be clips and reels of this. All right. And that won't be taken away from him. This is a highlight that he deserves. He deserves this. But we got a lot of time between now and SummerSlam. A whole bunch of things could change.
Yeah. A lot of things could change. Quickly, a big shout out to Trevor. Thank you for joining us. Of course, my man, Il Fam from Black Wrestling Podcast. Always a pleasure, kind sir. You know, it's so interesting because we've rooted for Sami Zayn in a lot of different times in a lot of different ways. Going back to NXT, going back to Ring of Honor, you know, certainly those opportunities that he's had at the WWE Championship. I guess in my mind, I wasn't convinced that it was happening today. But I guess that's what makes this fun, is that we get outsmarted. We can't quite figure it all out, which I think is a great thing. So with that, and I don't want to take anything away because this is a massive day for him, does Sami make it to SummerSlam as champion, and who does he battle? I mean, there's some options out there. Who battles for the WWE Championship at SummerSlam? What do you think, James?
I do not think he is the champion by then. If he is, I believe it's going to be a fatal four-way on night one. Because there's still some names that we haven't seen in a while that are on the way back. I have no idea what's happening with the CM Punk situation. I'm not quite sure what that is. That could be some serious jousting or some backstage Hulk Hoganism type stuff, you know. You know what I mean? So, but what I do know is TKO is not trying to miss big time SummerSlam money. All right, so
and that's my thing, right? Like I don't see Sami Zayn, and again, no knock. And I know we always talk about we want to see new stars and things like that, and we're going to get to that in a little bit, but I just don't see Sami Zayn headlining SummerSlam packing out that US Bank Stadium. I don't see it.
This is my thought. If you have, once again, what type of match did he win the championship in? A multi-person match. Mm-hmm. So if you have multiple stars in that match, you can set up multiple storylines in that match, and he can wind up retaining through the star clashing that happens inside of that match. And we possibly get to a destination where either by loss and victory, we have a Kevin and Sammy story going into WrestleMania 43. That can happen if you've got multiple people in it, and you can create big time storylines out of it. You could get a full Cody heel turn out of this. You know what I'm saying? Where he does something dastardly, you know what I mean, that makes you have to dislike him now. You know, you got the return of Randy Orton that could possibly happen, the return of CM Punk that you can slide in there. So I'm thinking like we got Drew McIntyre still out, you know, so there's multiple ways that we can ingratiate other people back into the picture, and Sammy sneaks out with it. But it's a multi-person match. But if it's a one-on-one match, nah, I don't see it.
Because to your point, the sneaking out part, I think, is where we start to build him as a believable champion if he survives these kinds of things. Commissioner, I don't know why I call you that all the time. Councilman.
He looks like a commissioner.
He does look like a commissioner, though. Yeah. By the way, let me just take this opportunity. I know this is not weird, but I got to shout out my guy, Kev on Stage, who has been like the guest general manager over at Evolve. I know how big of a dream this is for him. So to see him on my television screen, to see him on these reels that are co-branded with Evolve and WWE, it's pretty mind-blowing. Yeah. Shout out Kev on Stage. But with that said, Will, who fights Sami Zayn for the WWE Championship at SummerSlam?
I just find it just like so disrespectful the way y'all acting like this toward this dude. Like y'all just didn't hear me say this man can damn near dog walk anyone in the ring that's on this roster.
Will they sell tickets for SummerSlam though?
Yes. Look what we just saw. Like I want y'all to really think about this. It has never been the in-ring performance we were worried about. It was the attitude that Sami Zayn needed to have a change in and to start acting like a champion, not like someone that's been here this long and I need to work with doing this. And if you saw it Friday, the person who is living rent-free, the person Sammy's living rent-free in their head right now is not Gunther, it's Cody. Cody only low blows when he knows that someone is chipping at his heels. That Kevin Owens lines that he threw in him, that 9-0, like that is setting up for Cody versus Sammy. And that's what Sammy needs. Sammy needs to defeat QB1 for his reign to be solidified. Because if it was just a sneak thing, they should have let him pin Gunther. Then you have this thing of what y'all are talking about. If this is supposed to be the person that you're going to put over for the remainder of 2026, if that's the length of his reign, you have to have it to where he gets through WrestlePalooza, where he gets through Money in the Bank, Crown Jewel, and Survivor Series. And we already know Roman's not going to be here. Cody's not going to be here because they got to go promote Street Fighter. They're not coming back until November. So they're gone. And then I already just saw the exclusive news. Oba is challenging Roman. So that's what we're getting at SummerSlam. He's not going after the WWE title. He's going for Roman. So right here, Cody versus Sammy, you now have it because now, just like how y'all are saying, there's that Floyd Mayweather aspect. I want to see Sammy lose now. And when Sammy don't lose, there's also a circulation of that starts to come up like, man, I can't wait till they take the belt off of him. And when you start seeing how it's just straight clean wins, I don't need to cheat. This is what I do. Look at how we saw the triple threat match. It wasn't really Sammy sneaking anything. Mm-hmm. Sammy won clean, defeated both of them. I think Mick Foley Jr. is definitely finna show us why, hey, I don't need to be in a fatal four-way. I don't need to be in a triple threat match. Hey, listen, y'all thought I'd never have a six-pack? You see I got abs now. Y'all finna see what I can do with this championship.
So shout out to my guy, J.R. Bird. You guys have no
Hey.
idea how significant he is. One of the masterminds and backbones behind the Bonnerfide Podcast Network. So shout out to you, my friend. Boza is here. I was just joking the other day, but I didn't think they'd put the title on Sammy. Yes, they have done it. They have done it. And so I think this is going to be interesting to see.
I got a question.
Yes.
I got a question. Okay, so if well, maybe just an aside, I don't think any of us doubt who Sami Zayn is in that ring.
No.
At all.
No.
But we also recognize that being a WWE champion is not just about what you do in that ring. If it was, he would have been a champion 4 or 5 years ago. He's still that wrestler. He's still that guy. I also know how big SummerSlam is, right? And how big this is for the company. You know, this is second WrestleMania, basically, you know, and eyes on the product. And so I'm thinking tickets, you know, like it's I don't mind. Once again, as a wrestling fan, I'm gonna watch whoever they put on the card, wherever they put him on the card. I see Sami Zayn as champion. You know, I actually liked his heel arc a couple of years ago. I thought that was championship worthy, you know, and he's shown he could pull off anything. This man wrestled Johnny Knoxville on WrestleMania, and it was entertaining. You know what I'm saying? And so we're not doubting Sammy. I'm just looking at all the other heavyweights by name that are there.
Well, keep this in mind, though. You gotta keep this in mind. Sammy won't do night 2. So now if I tell you Sammy does night 1, does that make that more believable? And keep this in mind. Cody closed out night 1 at WrestleMania.
Correct.
He did not do night 2.
Correct.
So now if I tell you Sammy versus Cody night 1, does that seem a little bit more believable for you rather than it carrying the full SummerSlam?
I would tell you this, and we're kind of jumping the gun here a bit because we still got to talk about your client. But if we're doing what has been proposed, where a client, your said client, is taking one match in night 1 and doing another match in night 2, then both of those matches are the main event. So
true.
Let's talk about it.
Wait, they might remember the one factor in this whole thing that disturbs the apple cart a bit is the ESPN factor. ESPN wants marquee things in that free hour. Yeah. So in my mind, we could get, if Brock Oba 3 is to happen, that could happen in hour 1 to determine who ends up main eventing night 2. That could realistically happen.
So my only get back to that is that already happened for a night 2 kickoff at WrestleMania.
Correct.
So would you kick off SummerSlam with Sammy Cody then? Is that marketable enough?
So to be fair, like you just said, go back to WrestleMania last year. Bianca Io Rhea kicked off WrestleMania. They also kicked off triple threat match at SummerSlam. You just replaced Bianca with Naomi. So we had the same match that opened the show. But also, too, I want you to wrap y'all heads around this like we talked about. Brock and Oba may not happen at SummerSlam.
Good point.
We are all in our heads going, oh, this is Brock's last match. He ain't never said nothing like that.
Never. He has not.
Now, you know what sound more intriguing? Hour 1 WrestlePalooza, Brock Lesnar versus Oba for the World Heavyweight title, and the last of the 2 out of 3 match.
Because as a WrestlePalooza this year,
supposedly, we don't know. Everything's up in the air after Money in the Bank. Like, we don't know if they're doing a crown jewel. The only thing we know after Money in the Bank is Survivor Series.
They're doing Sunday night's main event.
They're doing Sunday night's main event in September, like Labor Day weekend.
Yes.
So I don't know, but interesting.
Yeah, we have pre-retired Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah,
but that
maybe.
Well,
so
he retired Brock Lesnar. So
right, and so again, we're clamoring over that, but it's like, yo, that match could happen at any time. But also, too, just with the way they're pushing my client, I would not say it's far-fetched if this Monday night Roman's out there, Oba's out there, and then Brock walks out. And then Oba looks at both of them. It's like, hey, y'all arguing about which and what? I'll take both of you on at SummerSlam. It don't matter to me. Because at the end of the night, they're going to be cheering me.
Well, let's do this, because I believe your client deserves a proper setup by the one Gerard Bonner. You know, we just can't just slide into this.
Yeah, we can't slide in on that one. Yeah. But for Sammy, though, yeah. But for Sammy, though, I do think Sammy, like, I'm not going to fully say I disagree with Al as night 2, he going to fill in the arenas. No. But you give me a 2-night SummerSlam where you're giving me back-to-back hitters, kind of like you just did with Night of Champions, he can lean on the fact of, hey, it's cool, I close out night 1. I'm not looking to say I'm the big top dog right now. The big top dog is at Raw, and so is Open. But a night 1, I thoroughly believe he can main event that.
Or a night 1 that is a 4-way that's got Sammy, Cody.
Why you on a 4-way? Why?
Sammy, Cody, Gunther, Randy Orton. That sells too.
Randy's hurt. So
okay. CM Punk. All right. Either way. Oh yeah, I know. Listen, the way you feel about them is different than the way people who spend money feel about them. All right.
So let me blow. Let me blow a hole in that tire. If you saying that, that's not gonna happen. CM Punk ain't finna be in no fatal 4-way for the world championship. If that be the case, CM Punk gonna want to go 1-on-1 with Sammy.
Well, let me shout out a couple people. The mayor is here. Cedric, good to see you, kind sir. And with that, time is flying. I can't even believe we're halfway through this. It's unbelievable. But as big of a headline as Sammy is, there was also, of course, the King of the Ring winner, which we've already alluded to, but it kicked off the show. Shout out to Obafemi. There really was a lot of question in terms of what would happen here. Given all of the possibilities, part of me was wondering, will I see Brock Lesnar tonight? Will the bloodline somehow get involved and Jey Uso come out as king? I mean, Jey had a couple of big Uso splashes and the like, but at the end of the day, we have a ruler who has become king. Congratulations to King Obafemi, who is the 2026 King of the Ring. Now the question is this. You've said that he will battle Roman, which I think was what we all expected, because Oba Roman or Oba Sammy. Right. So the question now is, does Obafemi win the World Heavyweight Championship and have a clear path there? Or will there be some very interesting hiccups along the way? What do you think?
First of all, yes. I hate to correct you, my big brother.
Okay.
This is King Oba.
Did I not call him king?
You just called him Obafemi, which is
no, I said the ruler became
no, he wants you to continue to say that.
Well, then let me go ahead and correct that then. He has gone from the ruler, the mountain that can't be climbed, to officially King Obafemi.
It's King.
Also, let's not forget the conquerors.
The conqueror, yes. The beast slayer.
Come on.
Yes.
All of that. Come on, call him who he is.
Run down the line, huh?
Come on now.
You gotta do like the old school Game of Thrones. First in his name, conqueror of conquerors, the mountain that cannot be climbed, the king Obafemi.
Hey, Will, didn't we just do that for John Cena?
Yeah, we did. Yes, we did.
For sure.
Yep.
Okay.
17 and never seen. Yeah.
All of that. Come on.
Yeah.
Let's do that for King Oba. I would heretofore like to be called Jimmy Femi. That is my name from here on out. I am Jimmy Femi. Right? That's right. Yes.
Jimmy Femi.
That's right. Listen. Every last one of us, because y'all know what I've done on these past 2 episodes. What have I said? I said it with my chest. I I put my strong voice on. I stopped playing around and told them, don't mess with the money. Obafemi should be king of the ring. And all of us felt like, nope, they're going to do this and put this on Jay because we know them. We know how they like to do stuff. They know how they like to mess with the money. The excitement. This is a great year for Black history. Oh, my God. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
I may just move to Nigeria. I don't know. I am so elated. Okay, overjoyed. This is great. And he looks like a king, doesn't he? When he had that crown in his hand, come on. Now you got the silhouette with the crown. What?
So that's gonna be a fire picture. Yo, you gotta hang that up somewhere.
What? If there was anybody, we have not seen a king ready to be a king like this since King Booker. Like, yes, this is what we're talking about. Okay, now it has some levity. Now it has some weight. Even more weight, literally. Okay, so now it means something if you beat the king. All right, it really does. This is huge, and the match was solid. Jay didn't go out here. It wasn't a squash. All right, you know, Jay looked solid in there.
Yes, he did.
You know, a reputable match. He kicked out of some things. You know what I'm saying? Challenged over. Good stuff. Now he still gets a good name, and whatever they're gonna do with him going forward, they can do that. He doesn't lose anything from this, unlike someone else who lost and shouldn't have lost in the show, but we'll get to that later. But he doesn't lose anything, and now we don't mess with the product. Now it's like, okay, SummerSlam feels like, oh no, I got to make sure my subscription is tight. I got to make sure I log in an hour early. I've got to watch the full pre-show. We gotta watch every Monday. We don't even, because remember, he's not necessarily on a brand. Nope. So we don't know if it's going to show up in Raw. We don't know if it's going to show up in SmackDown. We don't know what the situation is going to be. Now we got to tune in to all of these shows between now and SummerSlam. We got to watch because you never know what's going to go down. This is going to be a great month of wrestling, and we are here for it. And why? Because of King Oba. Because of the king. When the king is in his rightful place, everything falls into place, man.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Yes. I got some friends in the house. Michael Dixon is here. Good to see you, kind sir. My good brother, Sean Bigby. Yeah, I know. Sammy. I know. It's a thing. It's a thing. All right, Councilman. So the question is, will it be a smooth path for Oba to the World Championship? Or will the Brock factor actually show up at this point?
Well, you know, for my client, we always have to keep that in mind. We have to keep that in mind that there is a beast lingering. There is never a smooth path to the championship. We can move as many mountains as we can. We can split as many oceans as we need to. But hey, man, even a small pebble in the road could trip us up. But as long as we stay prepared for it, we'll be okay. Now, the other factor that people are not considering when it goes to Oba in this championship is someone y'all just brought up, which is Jay. I think Jay cost Roman the title at SummerSlam. I think you're about to see 4 weeks of Roman belittling Jay for putting him in this position, as well as you're seeing Jacob with this new Ulafala and also telling him you can't get the job done. Maybe I should be the right-hand man. And then when we get to SummerSlam, the super kick of the century, and Jay looks at Jacob like, yeah, you stay that right-hand position because I'm the tribal chief. Put him through a table right now.
Let's throw something else in there, something that the people aren't talking enough about because we just haven't had time to. The fact that the Tongans have left Solo.
Yeah.
Solo's by himself. Does Solo come back to the bloodline? But more importantly, a Roman-less bloodline?
I think you do. And I think the next bloodline that forms, Tonga, Tala, Lance, Zilla, and Roman Reigns for bloodline civil war at War Games.
Oh boy!
And the layers though of that, and Anawai with the Tongan. And then two, who are the elders that they are referring to that
Correct.
told them to leave Solo?
Haku's got to be in there.
Right. And then when you think about it, if they're telling you that about him, then how do they look at the bloodline of Jimmy, Jacob, Roman, and Jay if they're consulting them?
There's another elder. There's another elder.
There's another. I was going to say, are you going to say it? Are you going to say it?
There's Elder Dwayne.
There we go. There we go.
There's Elder Dwayne there. So there are so many. And this is the thing, and this is why I believe Oba's going to beat Roman at SummerSlam, because Roman is one of the few people that can still keep a name without a belt.
Exactly.
And if they cook this bloodline story up, it'll headline a night. Okay, it'll headline a night if they do this right. And so you can still have your established king. Because remember back in the Nitro days when Goldberg was the champ and Hulk Hogan was still main eventing. Okay, like he was, because he still had stories behind him and things of that nature. So that's what Roman is. All right, listen, whatever, if he's going to finish situation with Seth, I don't know how that could work into it. You can do this interweaving of the bloodline situation that could carry over both brands, but Oba can have his own situation, but he's got to go through. He's got to conquer for that to work. And now he becomes a bigger mountain, and whoever climbs that mountain to beat them, you've established some great name with that. You know what I mean? So this is what we want. We want to have multiple things to look at and not have a predictable show and not have a predictable brand. This is exactly what we wanted. Because people actually acting right. But what happens when you treat the product right? All right, get it right with the guys you got. Now you got multiple opportunities to explore instead of just feeding the same old.
Yeah. And if you move to it, like how I said with Jay, then that also starts to answer the question of, can Jay handle this? Because I've always said the way you handle Jay is let Jay do the same journey The Rock did. Make the bloodline his nation of domination. Let him be a heel. And he's itching towards that. That interview he had with Jackie Redmond where he said, F the fans. I don't care what they think. And they were still yeeting with him. But that gives a great counterpart to Oba. And you know what that helps us ignore? Roman, CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, who have become this super echelon superstars to where you don't need them till we get to a big show. And now is where we can rely on, hey, your headliners are Oba Femi versus Jey Uso at the Royal Rumble for the title. And we will watch that. We will see the aura of both of them coming out and having an incredible match together. But that is what he needs to be able to go, okay, I need to be able to fully get over, and I need my family behind me, and I need to be able to either sink or swim when it comes to this. But I think having his family behind him will help him with that.
Very, very interesting things. And it's wild how just one show specifically, that being this show, has kind of upset the apple cart in a way where we go, we've got some fun things to look at in a product that some at some point called a little on the stale side. So that's exciting. Let's get to the Queen of the Ring. Io Sky. Io Sky is the Queen of the Ring. She defeats the world champion Olivia Morgan. And now, maybe to my shock, Io announces that she'll be challenging Liv Morgan for the world championship at SummerSlam. Your thoughts on the result and this choice of a match? Because I didn't think it was going this way in terms of this match. Now, Councilman, you were pretty vocal about Io winning and the like. What are your thoughts?
Man, I'm gonna try to keep this short because I know we only got an hour. You already gave us a crappy ending to this Queen of the Ring anyway. And this is no disrespect to Io, and it really sucks because Io is kind of just like a casualty in this. But one, Liv shouldn't have been in this tournament to begin with. This was one, like, between the men and the women were the ones where we were like, yo, every woman in this match, we can have a argument why she should be queen of the ring. Roxanne should have been facing Io Sky. Raquel Rodriguez should have been facing Io Sky. Chelsea Green, who was there, should have been facing Io Sky in the finals. But you decide to give us this, and it was so bad of y'all booking this, which is very, like, you know, like Libra scale, like just a one side of the coin and unbalanced, that you had to get Danhausen in order to help with this match. That lets you know how bad it was. And when Io won, no pop. Why? Because no one wanted this. And so now the match you just gave us, we get again at SummerSlam. So I don't know if it was Michael Hayes that put that in the chat GPT and just thought that was the one, but it wasn't it. It wasn't it. But again, congrats to Io. I'm very glad that she is queen of the ring. She most definitely deserves it. But again, it's the Cosby Show effect. You gave me a steak dinner on a garbage can lid and then expect me to think that I'm thoroughly grateful for it. No.
James, your thought. Did Io, first of all, your thoughts on Io winning, and secondly, did Io make the right choice for SummerSlam?
Who is James?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Wait, do you have a title? Is there a title? There should be a title with this.
I think it's what is it, Jimmy Femi?
No. There's got to be a title in front of it. Is it?
Oh, that's true.
We'll work that next week. We'll work that next week.
I'm not going to tell you this week.
Yeah. Sir Jimmy Femi.
Fits for me.
There we go. Sir
like
Jimmy Femi. Sir Femi. Oh.
Yeah. I'm going to start all of my promos by saying, "You die tonight." Yes. In my opinion, Io Sky is the best female wrestler in the world.
Oh, no, I don't mean to cut you off. Oh. The Beast of Sharpstown.
Oh no, we're not doing that. Because I'm not going to be anywhere near Sharpstown, so we're not doing that.
I was about to say Greenspoint, but I was like, that's too
never.
That's way too good.
We'll make it out of Greenspoint. Okay, that's a Houston conversation that we're having right now. No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, sorry about that. My bad, sir.
No.
Like
the man Hiram Clark. No, we're not doing that. No Hiram Clark. We're not doing any of that. Okay, no. Okay.
You want me to Beast of Alameda then?
No, not out. No, I'm staying away from that. I want to live. Okay. No. Like I was saying, Io Sky is the best female wrestler in the world, in my opinion, and they've done her wrong all year. Okay, from how they treated her at WrestleMania, to just have her floating around like Rhea's love interest, to now needing a curse to beat Liv Morgan and then challenge her again. Literally, it's like we really did not pay attention to our women's division. That's what you're just telling us. We haven't been paying attention. We've been caught up in SmackDown more so than paying attention to the Raw side of this. But it literally made no sense. The fact that Liv was even shot when they revealed during the post show of WrestleMania that she was even in the Queen of the Ring tournament, and she cut a quick promo about having 2 belts at that time. But what are y'all doing? And it's not like, and to Will's point, to everything Will said about this, I 100% co-sign. And this is another part, is that they have the talent. They have the talent. Think about the talent that wasn't even in the 16. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You're sitting on Candice was not in the tournament. Okay. Candice LeRae. Mm-hmm. What are we doing with Candice LeRae? You finally debuted Blake Monroe in a run-in on Julia. You know, like, I mean, you've had this talent that's Jordan Grace. You just wrestling on main event the entire time. You didn't put her on regular programming. So the talent is there that you can really make us interested in, but yet you just ran them all in these 4 ways. And now all of a sudden we have Liv. And I understand why they had Liv there. I do. The Saudis love Liv. I get that. The Saudis love Liv. So, you know, but there's a way that you could have had that. And I agree with Joe. So creative is lazy on this. You could have had her involved in some type of way instead of going through this whole tournament and other people who we need to see as championship material or caliber could have had this opportunity to go forward. Now, I also think Rhea's injury kind of changes the dynamic of this. But even if Rhea was not injured, Rhea's on SmackDown. EO's on Raw. So we're going to do this on Cross again. It's like nothing matters with them. Like nothing sticks. They don't pay enough attention to give enough emphasis to the women who deserve great story. Women deserve a storyline that's good enough to headline a major.
Agreed.
And then why would you wrap everything, the women's world title around everything of Stephanie coming back? And that was the reason why all this pivoted, because they were like, oh, no, she'll be back right after. No, she's still hurt. They didn't give her the green light. Like they told her she can't go. So now it's like, oh, I guess we got like, so all these people on this roster, y'all just don't have them doing anything. It's just
the whole
like,
thing is just like, they're just floating around with everything. Like they've been teasing a Judgment Day breakup all year.
Mm-hmm. And again, y'all saw the story I gave. Live 2 belts and then lose both of them to Roxanne and Raquel. Raquel in the singles.
That would work.
And I called it just like this. Raquel beats her at Crown Jewel in front of Saudi. If they still have Crown Jewel, Roxanne cashes in Money in the Bank right after, and Liv lose both titles in one night.
No, we still have a situation. We can still have a situation now where Roxanne cost Liv the championship at SummerSlam. But I'm saying we could have gotten to that point in a better way than having a rematch from a tournament. You know, that it's making EO look like she's got to fight her way up to a status that she's already at.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's what happens when you got to put the white woman up first, and then let the person I said it. Yeah, we're gonna take all your aura, give it to Rhea, so we get her over, and then we'll give you the scraps. Because Rhea can go challenge for anything at any time, but the woman who is the best in the world got to fight through a tournament just to be able to get over. All right. That's how y'all want to keep pushing these folks. I found that very interesting.
Let me address this question that came up from the mayor. After the show, on the post show, there was a physical altercation between Gunther and the general manager of SmackDown, Nick Aldis. Where does this go quickly, gentlemen? What do you think we're doing?
Magnets, Madison Square Garden, Saturday night main event. Make it happen. Come on, man. Let me get Magnus one more time.
That could be a thing. And let's be clear, Nick Aldis never lost it. Nope. Multiple time NWA world champion, former TNA world champion. He never lost it. It would be downright amazing to see him and Gunther in Madison Square Garden at that. Yeah.
If Gunther can face Pat McAfee, he can face Nick Aldis, and it will not hurt him.
For sure. Wow. That would be a lot of fun. So needless to say, a very full day at Night of Champions. We mentioned a full weekend, and it is. I want to give people the rundown. This show, Night of Champions, kicked off an unbelievable weekend of wrestling. Right now, as we speak, our friends at Ashe Wrestling are presenting The World Is Yours. And then tomorrow, we have counted 3. Oh, yes.
We also got AAA tonight at 7 p.m. Lola Vice will be defending her NXT title against
That's
the
right.
Hydra, and she's doing double duty this weekend.
That's very true. Shout out. That will be a match that will feed families. So tomorrow, we have 3 PLEs at wild times. 4 p.m. Eastern is TNA's Slammiversary. Then it's literally head-to-head. 7 p.m. Eastern is the first ever WWE PLE on network television, as the Great American Bash from NXT is on the CW. Also, at the same time, going head-to-head will be AEW, New Japan, CMLL, and Stardom's Forbidden Door. Here's my question. What are you watching, or are you watching all of them?
Forbidden Door for me. That card looked fire. Okay. I'm gonna take a nap between it, because it's like 23 matches. But
yes, it's gonna be 1,000 matches.
Yeah, I saw Swerve and Ospreay for the finals. I'm like, y'all got me. Y'all got it.
Yeah. James, what are you watching?
I'm watching Great American Bash.
Okay.
I have an affinity for that brand, that actual show since the
Yeah.
NWA days. You know, I just think about Dusty Rhodes and Magnum TA and the Midnight Express and the Four. I'm getting emotional.
Yeah.
First of all, this is the last time you're gonna call me James like that.
I'm so Sir Femi. Forgive me.
You know, it's
Forgive
okay.
me, Sir Femi.
You gotta let him get. You gotta let him get it acclimated. He just got it. Yeah.
We called Walter for a long time before we got used to calling him Gooney.
You're not gonna compare me to that man. I'm different.
Okay, so by next Saturday, if he hasn't gotten it right, that's when we can be like, hey,
okay,
yeah. Let's just give the time to get it.
I've been calling you. I've been calling you this other name for years, sir.
Things change. Things change, sir.
Things
change. It changed today. Oh yes.
Yes, sir, Femi.
It changed today.
Yes.
This Great American Bash card is pretty good too. I think NXT has done a wonderful job for where they are at their level to build up their people to make, and now it's going to be on the CW as well. You know what I'm saying? You know, as a kid, I had to pay to watch the Great American Bash. I can actually watch it for free. Yeah. All right. Yes, I do want to see Lola Vice. And I also want to see her wrestle. Yeah, I want to see I want to see her.
we support that statement fully.
Yes, thank you. Yes. So she and Kendall Gray, I'm expecting that to be a very it's gonna be a very
it's the wrestling machine. What you expect?
Yeah, and it's the main event too. Like Sean is
it main event?
It's
the main event. Yeah. Evil and Tony D are opening the show, and
I love it.
Close it.
I love it. By the way, shout out to the ode to Mid-South, the ode to world class with the fireball. We haven't seen a fireball in pro wrestling in years. So that was just, man, I felt good watching that. That felt so good.
And well executed too.
Well executed. Yeah.
Well executed. Like you could not have tried that twice.
Right.
So it was well done. Well done. By the way, very quickly, as you mentioned Forbidden Door, I have to shout out perhaps the Cinderella story of AEW right now, Maya World, who found her way as a literal alternate with Saray not being cleared. She comes in, wins the quarterfinal match, then defeats Athena, and now is getting ready to battle Mercedes Moné on the full-on pay-per-view. The winner gets a world title shot over in Wembley Stadium. Do you think AEW pulls the trigger with Maya World winning the Owen Cup?
No, absolutely not.
Wow.
No, it's too early.
Nah, no disrespect to her, but like I will put it to you like this: she'll lose the match, but she will win the night.
Perfect.
I will say that.
Perfect.
Like you will definitely know who Maya World is after that match is done.
Yes, wholeheartedly.
But she has plenty of time, and she will be AEW Women's Champion very soon.
Mercedes is going to make her look like $1 million.
Yes, she is.
Okay, she's going to do that. We give her a lot of heat about other stuff, but we don't give her heat about what she does in that ring. Okay, she's going to make her look like $1 million. And you got to get Mercedes versus Thekla and win.
Got to. The commentary, like the promos between the two of them. Oh my God, that's gonna be incredible.
Yes.
Yeah, you know, I'm not saying that it can't happen. I'm just saying I had picked and pegged Athena to win this whole tournament. And we're in a space where we have two people who weren't even originally slated to be in the tournament now in the finals. And I just think that it could happen. Maya World could actually end up in London. Stranger things have happened.
Exactly.
It's a great way to build a new star. You could certainly build the punchline of of Mercedes and her inability to win the big one. Like there's a lot of ways you can go with this, but we'll see what happens in 24 hours or so. But personally, I'm pulling for Maya World. I've had a chance to work with her over time, and I'm very, very proud of her. What a moment. And again, if she doesn't, obviously she has time. But
let's be real, like you said, like y'all talked about with Sammy. Does Maya World versus Tekla sell tickets?
Not yet. But
not because they've got time to build it.
Exactly. But they got to sell out Wembley again. And you're gonna need Mercedes' name in that.
And you also, to that point, Will, remember what happened after Athena lost to Maya. She jumped her.
Yeah.
So we got a storyline there that we can always go back to, and possibly a second women's match on All In.
And also too, hey, I'm not upset if you're here at Wembley and new Ring of Honor Women's Champion, Maya World.
Yes, Maya World. And if this is a setup for that, that's okay too.
Dethroning Athena, that definitely will put you over.
At Wembley?
Wembley?
That I think so. We've got some possibilities. We will examine all of that, but there's plenty of wrestling this weekend. TNA Slammiversary, AAA tonight, Ashe as we speak, Great American Bash, Forbidden Door, lots of wrestling happening. Very, very excited about all of that. Now, before this day ends, there's absolutely no way we can go without having a conversation about what happened 30 years ago, which I cannot believe it's been 30 years since we saw a certain Stone Cold Steve Austin become King of the Ring. But him becoming King of the Ring actually has paled in comparison. Most people have forgotten that part because of what happened immediately after he won King of the Ring, cutting the promo where he actually shared with us the iconic verse of Austin 3:16. So as we celebrate 30 years of this, I want to ask, first of all, how did Austin 3:16 in your mind change pro wrestling? Sir Femi.
Yes. Grace be unto you. So I have a strong theory. I may write a book about it. Is that 1996 was the most important year of all society. You can go back to so many things that happened within the calendar year of 1996 and how it shaped the world in so many different facets. We don't have time for that. This is one of those times. Okay, you got to understand what was happening in the WCW in 1996 with the whole NWO situation and how that just rocked the world of wrestling. We needed a change. A change was necessary, especially for the WWE. A change is necessary. You've never had a character like this before. You've had those crazy, kooky characters, some mythical people like The Undertaker or Papa Shango or things of that nature, or some outlandish stuff you've never had. And then this character here was under the wings of Ted DiBiase at first.
The Ringmaster.
The Ringmaster. So now this is a deprivation. This is him tapping into who he really is. This is a personification of self here. This is how he talks on a regular basis. And he takes something from what we see in football games back in the NFL. They would have somebody hold a John 3:16 in the end zone, and without people really knowing what it means, we know what it means, but people didn't know what it means. And for him to flip it like that and have the opportunity to flip it like that, the crowd went nuts, and Vince saw dollar signs, and he was right, and they were right. And so now you got little children wearing Austin 3:16 on their shirt, and it showed, and it really put the value of the promo in Western wrestling. And now that is a staple, not just in the WWE. It was a staple in ECW. It was a staple in WCW. It's a staple now in AEW. And you have to be able to cut a promo now, because promos are half of wrestling. All right. Either you are A1 in that ring with a decent promo, or you are A1 on that mic with a decent in-ring situation. That's how you're going to survive in this game. He flipped the game that way. So now it's more about or equal to what you do with this in your hand is what you do with your hands. And it hasn't been the same since.
So I'm curious, Will, why do you think that promo was so impactful? I mean, there have been some other really, really significant promos over the years prior to that one. Why did that one catch fire and change this genre?
I think just the layers of who Austin was, and then like if you know his story of just the not only in-ring genius of him, but the creative genius of what Stone Cold is. So just to take it even back real quick of how he came up with his name. Like again, they gave him a list of stuff that he was like, nah, this ain't working. Like Ice Cool Man, like no. And it really just happened to be with like, hey, you know what? Babe, you're gonna figure it out, but drink your tea, otherwise it's gonna turn stone cold. I think I got it now. And right there, and then even too, with that particular one, for you to do that off the top of your head and just like 5 minutes before your match is just like, hey, yo, like what he said when he went out there, he did this and he quoted John 3:16. But I bet. But also, too, around that time, a lot of people may not remember Bible verses were very heavy in television and movies. Like you had your "Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death," no weapon formed against me shall prosper. Like all of that was so relevant in pop culture still. And then, like you said, the John 3:16 thing. So it was a very we were very heavy into the religion, into pop culture. And so for him to go up there and be like, you know, after you've won and you're looking at him talking about you sit here and you thump your Bible verses talking about your John 3:16s. Austin 3:16 said, I just whipped your ass. It was like, woo! I got what I can really use.
Yeah.
And that was it. Because you again, you know what it was? And I know people gonna get mad about this part. But right when that happened, some redneck back down in Texas said, hot damn it, boy, that's how you say it. That's how you do it, man. You make sure you put in the Lord and kick ass. That's America right there. I'm gonna get behind that. I'm gonna get behind that bald-headed son of a bitch right there. Mary, you see him? Did you see? His name is Steve Austin. Get to know the name. Tell you that boy's a winner right there. Right there. I'm telling you. Stone Cold. Hey, girl, get me a Stone Cold beer out there too while you at it, man. That boy's something. I'm telling you. Like once, and again, that was the majority though of wrestling. And so what he did was he took away the aspect of a character, and I believe at that particular time, that was where I know we give it to The Rock, but that's when he became the people's champion. That's when people saw themselves in him. And then to even further go for that, when he had his beef with Vince McMahon, everybody loved it because everybody wants to flip the finger off at their boss. So everything he did, he made it feel like he's one of us. Like this, if we were here, that's what we would say. And that's how he flipped the whole game, where it's like, I want to see folks like us where you can tie in different things. So when you saw Shawn Michaels is a superstar. He acts like himself, but he's a playboy. And it's like, okay, I know somebody like that. And I can attach to that rather than this flamboyant character of a Jake the Snake where it's walking around with a big snake, or like you said, like Papa Shango, where it's like, okay, these are great for me to see. These are great toys for me to have, but I don't relate to them. You related to Austin, and when he said that, you related to it even more.
Yeah, I would say, you know, this was kind of one of those lightning in a bottle moments where, you know, you were able to really be in touch with what was happening in the culture at that time. And certainly when you think about just, you know, you were talking about Bible verses and things like that, you know, certainly then people weren't daring enough to try to flip anything like that. So to flip it and to have the gall and the bravado to do it and not flinch.
Yeah.
People went, okay, the world's changing and so am I. I can relate to this guy. And very much so, you know, this was also a space where nobody talked about the character of Steve Austin. He was just stone cold, period. And I think, and we don't even have time to dig into this, but this is also where probably one of the last eras where fans were just still fans, where fans still were willing to believe whatever they saw. Fans are willing to go with whatever they saw. And so much of it, I think, also was so real to us that we weren't sitting there going, oh, we didn't even call it a promo. We were just like, oh my God, that was amazing, you know?
Yeah.
And so it alludes to, and I don't have time digging it, it alludes to a point that Triple H made earlier this week about wrestling's supposed to be fun, and it is. And my hope is that, you know, we enjoy it now, and wrestling is supposed to be fun. I do feel like, with that said, oftentimes the consumers do get to determine what they deem as fun. I'll give you a very simple example. My beautiful, loving son does certain things that he feels is funny. And he just thinks, when I do this, and I said, why do you do that? Because when you do it, I don't like it. He's like, well, it's to make you laugh. I said, but it doesn't make me laugh. So why do you keep doing it? Oh, well, I thought if I kept doing it, it would. No, I think sometimes creators think that if they just keep doing it, eventually you'll call it fun. I think there has to be a connection with what society says is fun, atmosphere says is fun, and culture actually connects with. But we might have to dig into that because our time is.
Yeah, no.
Oh, so is that why Nikita Lyons is champion? I'm sorry.
GB,
so much to talk about.
GB, you can't call it fun. You can't say it's supposed to be fun when you're overcharged to be to watch it.
That like he said, that's a whole episode right there. That's a whole episode right there.
You're raising the price and deflating the product. You can't just sit up there and say, sit here and enjoy it. You can't peel me and tell me it's raining. I have a right as a consumer, like you said, to tell you, no, this ain't fun. No, this ain't fun what I'm watching. No, you can't just, we're not being entertained because we know what you do and we know how you do. And I'm telling you, if we don't do like we're doing today and how we've done in these shows that we've done prior to, and if the IWC doesn't put appropriate pressure on them, we don't get Obafemi as champion. We don't get Sammy as champion. They don't get the right wrong. They would have done what we know they were going to do. That's why we were nervous about it, because they've set up a history of blowing stuff and say, no, just be entertained by it. No, if I gotta spend $30 a month to watch one pay-per-view, not a catalog, to watch one pay-per-view a month, and the first hour of it is free. So I'm only watching 2 hours. I'm paying $30 for 2 hours. You better entertain me the way I want to be entertained, not the way you want to.
Yeah, this is definitely and I will say this too. This is why I believe this forum is necessary and why it's important that all of us in the IWC learn how to effectively communicate. Just swearing and cussing and being mad with no intelligent conversation, with no thought behind what's doing, just being outraged, you will get ignored that way every time. You have to be able to have intelligent conversation with necessary data, with connection to culture, with an understanding of what certain things mean, so that when you get into these discussions, you'll actually have a leg to stand on and you'll be able to speak the language. As they're supposed to speak the language of the culture, we've got to speak their language, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
That's right.
We got to go. Man, oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. So many good things still to talk about. We no telling where we're going to do some more of this stuff just because it's right. All right. How can the people find you all? Let's start with you, good councilman.
You don't have to find me. Just know who did find me. That's all you need to know. Just know, for all those that be like, you just keep talking about, hey, look what I said. Look what I said, okay? The king knows who his councilman is.
I love it.
Take that, Miss Rogers.
gosh.
That was my kindergarten teacher. She said I wasn't gonna be shit in life. So now I'm here.
Sir Femi, how can the people find you?
Yes. You're catching on, sir. I love that.
Hey, we learn quickly around here.
He's a dad. You just got to give him a chance.
Come on. GB is a sage. You can find me at It Makes No Sense to Have a Non-Title Match, A Night of Champions. You can find me there.
I'm following now. Support all of that.
That's great.
And let's bury our talent. Let's let the 40-year-old Seth beat him. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, sure.
Wow. Yeah, you can find me at Bonnerfide across all of the aforementioned platforms. Also, a couple of things you may not know, but would be good to check out. Some of my latest work with Southern Honor Wrestling is right now available on IWTV, so you can check that out. Also, I had the amazing opportunity to call a really important show. It's the 3rd annual Beast Cup Invitational. It's an 8-man tournament that honors the life and legacy of Shad Gaspard. That is currently on Triller TV. 8-man battle for the 3rd annual Beast Cup. So shout out to the Pope, Elijah Burke, and the good folks at Love Alive giving me the opportunity to do that. So you can check out my work there. Going full Joey Styles on you on that one. So go ahead, check that out. That's on Triller TV. And of course, the podcast is here. My podcast, Bonnerfide Podcast Network, all of the things. Check that out. Shout out to everybody who joined us in the chat. You guys are amazing. Again, shout out to, yes.
And one more thing, because you don't never say it, but please make sure that you check out the Bonnerfide Podcast and his clips. I say because he has very great advice that the professor doles out. So if you are ever having a down day, especially with this being Men's Mental Health Month, be sure to go follow Bonnerfide because there's a lot of great advice that he gives when it comes to taking accountability for your actions, how to be able to navigate between friends and what you're doing and living here. Believe me, he gives some great advice, and I'm not just saying that because I'm on this show.
Wow, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. I really do. Man. I really do. Thank you. So yeah, you guys go check that out. You can check out the it's Bonnerfide Conversations. It's available on YouTube or wherever else you listen to your podcast. And of course, you can follow for clips and more. All right, we're gonna get out of here. You guys be safe, be well, enjoy a lot of wrestling this weekend. And next week is 4th of July, so we'll have to figure out something to do in the interim. But
are y'all busy Thursday?
I am.
We might be able to make something.
We'll talk about it offline. Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Yeah. Let's
I think we could do a little crossover.
I like that. Until then, guys, be safe, be well. This is
Stop. Nah, wait a minute.